Hello and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to create a chatbot using Hugging Face and Streamlit. Hugging Face basically is a website where we can access open source machine learning models, in short LLMs, and we can access them through API or through the URL if they are public. And Streamlit basically is a UI framework written in Python which we can use to create simple and beautiful UIs. So this is a demo of what we'll be building. So I have a simple UI here which basically tells me personal ChatGPT, and then I and this is the icon, and we'll look into it how we can display these UI stuff in Streamlit. So I'll be asking this question: hello, how many continents are there in the world? And then the bot replies back with the answer. Now this bot is trained on 7 billion tokens. So the reason I'm using the 7 billion model is it's little smaller in size than the 13 billion and the 70 billion. So for that reason I'm using this model, and because this is for educational purpose, it will be easier to display to basically give demo using the 7 billion model, and you can easily change the model later on with whatever model you want to use. And we can extend this functionality not only to the chat LLMs. There are other types of LLMs which are related to prompts, etc. We can extend this functionality to them as well. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So I have a quick collab here, and firstly I'll be downloading some dependencies, right? So let's do that. So I'll be using langchain. Wget is to basically download the model from Hugging Face. Llama index is another framework which we can use to access create LLM objects. Co here is a dependency which is required by LLM llama-index, and then llama cpp python to basically get the Python C++ version of the library, right? So I'll quickly install it. It might take time. Till in the meantime, we can go ahead and write our code to get the model. So basically we'll be having a model URL, and the model URL basically will be this model. You can go to this link. This is basically, if I go to Hugging Face, and then if I go here and if I search the model as it's block the block 7 billion. This one is llama block llama 7 billion, yeah, this one. So the way I got URL is I go here, I have files and version, and this is the one I downloaded because it is smaller in size. But obviously you can download this bigger one because it would be trained on a bigger large tokens, and it would give you a better answer. Now I am creating a method which basically tells me how much is the percentage downloaded. So it does help me in knowing whether it was downloaded or not. Okay, and then print downloading. Correct. Now we have the URL, and I think the dependencies have also installed. So let's go ahead and download our model, which would be model URL, and then bar is bar custom. Okay, so let's run this. I'm getting the error here. That's because unterminated string literal. Uh, why is that the case? Hmm. It is. Oh, sorry, I didn't close the string. Okay, so you can see it started to download. So what will happen is this model will get downloaded under our files. You can see the downloading has started, right? So the reason is once this is downloaded locally, it would be easier for us to access the model, um, and to run it, because every time you basically download this model, when you are running this answer, when you are running the chatbot, it would take a lot of time, so we are downloading it in locally. Now I would also like to install some more dependency which are related to UI, which is Streamlit, and this is the one which we will be using to create our UI. So let it install. In the meantime, I will start creating our app.py. So app.py is going to be our file, where all the logic, all the application logic stays. So I will import all my dependency. So all the dependencies that I'm installing right now, they basically will be used to either create our machine learning LLM object, model object, or they will be used to share some UI stuff. So, and langchain, I'm using the schema. So this schema we'll be importing human message comma AI message. So what it will do is this human message and AI message, langchain takes the context. So the context here of our chat in the app, if we see, this one is the human context, right? Because this was provided by me, and then this is the AI context that the AI is providing. So this is the context that we can create while creating the messages, so that the model knows, okay, so this was user's message, and based on the historic message context, it can give me better answer, so that's why we use that. I'll be creating some page setup. So I'll be setting up some config. So this one will include our title. We can call it personal chatbot, let's call that for now. St header will be also personal chatbot, and then st dot sidebar dot title will be options. So currently we are also providing this functionality here, which is like clear the conversations, like whatever we have created, so it will empty all of this. So this is just an extra functionality that we are creating. Now we'll be creating a method which would return us the LLM object, because the flow will be like, when I type the message, the Streamlit app takes the message. Now it needs to feed that message to this model that we have downloaded here, correct? The llama 2 7 GB chat model. So this method is going to return us this models object, that okay, this is the models object. Now what is the message? The message will be this, what human said, and then based on that it will run some calculations, compute it, and then return us back with the reply, which is the answer. Now, how the internals of LLM works, this video is not going to cover that. I will create another video about it, because I myself am still also learning and reading a lot of papers around how the LLMs are created. But yeah, I would like to cover it in another video so that everyone gets a better idea. Moving on, so this is how our method will look. It will return an llama cpp object. Now here there are two ways. One is model URL, but in our case we already have a model loaded, downloaded locally, right? So we'll give us a path, and to give this path I will just copy this path, and then set it to this one. Okay, and then I'm going to set some default configurations, and then max tokens, max new tokens. Now this tokens is basically the length of the output. We can set it to maybe 500 for now. So I think the max token is set for llama 2 is set for 4096 tokens. So anything below that works well for our use case. And then we'll be using okay, I think I might be missing one more thing. Generate arguments. Okay, I think this method is complete. Now we can move on to another method. Now here in the UI, I would also like to create basically like a text area where I'll be displaying all the messages. So I'll also create another inet messages method. Okay, so clear button. Uh, yeah, this is just for, yeah, this one actually I'm creating this button here, clear conversation, and also initializing some values for the system, so that they do have some initialized values, because at the start of the app this should be empty, this area should be empty. So that's what. Now this is something which Streamlit provides us, which is the session state. So in the session state I'll be saving all the messages. So the reason being, now if I type another message, the previous message should also stay there intact, right? And it should all only update this new message that I type or the bot types. So this is what I'll be storing. This variable will be I'm using to store the messages history. So right now I think I would need to import system message also. Okay, so I can use this here with the content being, you are a helpful AI assistant. Yeah, that should be good enough. And also I can do this, reply or answer in markdown format. Yeah. And then st dot session state dot, okay, I think I don't need any other variable. Yeah, now I will create a method get answer. This is something which takes in LLM object, so the object will be returned from this method, and the message that I have typed messages, and then I will take the string, I will return the string which is the response. So response will be llm dot complete messages, and then return response dot text. Yeah, so this will just return me the answer. Now comes the main part, which is the main method. A main method will be something which will run as soon as our app starts, right? So I will need to do init page, which is this one that create all this extra UI. Then I will select the LLM, which is my model which I have downloaded, the llama 2 model, and then init messages, which will just initialize the state and also create the button. So now if user input, now this is something which I'm taking in. So what Streamlit does is, Streamlit, we created we created a text box, and this text box does a input into user input if when I create, when I, as soon as I start typing, right? So basically it will take message as st.chat input and input your question, right? uh, so if that's the case, if my input your question, basically this is the something, if this gets filled, like if my user input is not empty, sorry, if my user input is not empty, then what I'll do is, then I need to store this value in my session state, which is messages dot append, because it's an array, and then this is going to be a human message, and then content will be user input. Now once I have stored it, what I'll do, till the time I get the response, I will start a spinner saying bot is typing, right, and I will wait for the answer. So it will keep on doing this. Get answer is my method which takes in the LLM and the user input, and then just for our debug purposes I'm printing the answer to see if it's get printed. And then it will, once this return is complete, it comes out of this while loop, and then we store the state in for the AI message in our session as well, so that we don't lose all the previous messages. I think, yeah, that's all. Now after this, we would need to display the messages, right? Now I have stored them in the state, so my, let me get all the messages. For message in messages, if is instance, if my instance is of AI message with st dot, okay, chat message assistant, I will create a markdown with the message dot content, because that is going to be my content. And else if, actually this all should be indented, yeah, else if, I'll just copy all of this again, and if it's a human message, then in this case I need the user icon, and then I will just print the this message, and then I will have to run it if okay. So I think this is good enough. Now let's run it and save this file. Now we need to run this app, right, which is the which is going to be our Streamlit app. So the way to run it is, we have already installed Streamlit. We run it by app.py, and we open a tunnel basically using npx local tunnel, and we can use port 8502 in our case. Oops. So what it will do is, it will run the app on the Google Colab, but it will also open an external port, so that we can access it through another tab in the browser. Basically, through outside internet can access what is running on my machine here. So let's do that. Actually, this should be app.py. I'll just rewrite this. Okay, and then I have this. Let me run this and see if it works. So okay, so required army. Oh, sorry, my bad. So this should be, let me close this. Yeah, this should run now. Oh, sorry, port, my bad. Let me refresh this. I have app.py. Okay, so now it should run it, and we should not see any error message if any now the way to access it is, it opens. So go to this URL, that this is my external URL, but also I have to input my external IP here for the app to run, and I click on submit. So as soon as I do that, it should open a new window. It is taking some time. Let me close the previous one. Maybe that's the issue. Okay. It doesn't take this much time usually. Not sure what is happening. Let me try and accessing it again. Or maybe try, let me try with the other port. Maybe the port is an issue. Let's see. So now okay, maybe the port was an issue. Okay, so we got an error saying expected indented block, which is, oops, yeah, this should be indented. Oh, I need to close this. I need to rerun it. Yeah, this will run here, and then let me run it again. Okay, so I to provide the IP address. So it shows running here, which means it's taking some time to run, and we should see some logs here. Okay, so we got an error, and this error is coming from line 8, which is, I think it's the typo. It says cannot import this from, okay. Oh, there is a typo here, sorry. Oh, I need to close the app again. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's see if it works this time. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we don't see any errors. Okay, we got an error again. Oh, I have I have another typo here. Yes, it's because of this only. Let's hope it works this time. Okay. Sorry about that. Uh, I so desperately want this app to run, so I'm not checking for any issues that happen because of it. Okay, just waiting to see the successful log here. Okay, so it seems it is running. It's still running. I think I'm expecting another output here. Oh, okay. Okay, so I got that. Okay, so I think our app is ready. So let's type something. Hello, can you tell me how many how many oceans are there in the world? Okay, so once we type it, it should show bot is typing. Okay, the app running on the Google Colab will obviously be slow because I'm using a normal compute engine instead of the GPU. So the RAM and all the available resources are less. The best way would be you can deploy this application onto Hugging Face or any other cloud service with a bigger configuration, and for sure it will run in a quicker format. This is just for experimental and play around that I'm running in Google Colab. Don't want to use any other cloud resources, but yeah, you can use that and you will obviously see some better performance from those cloud services. Yeah, let's wait for few seconds. I know chat gpt is not this slow. Also, one thing we can do is to make things better. What chat gpt does is they don't wait for the whole message or whole answer to come back to you. They start streaming as soon as they have some characters and tokens ready for you. So yeah, so in our case we saw this uh, intershading between, see, so this model, because I told you it's a small model, it is not as accurate, but it did provide us with some information. Yeah, so I think the southern ocean, it meant the I don't know, there should be only four oceans, right? Or I might be wrong, but anyways, we can give them another question. So as I said that we want the history, right? So this code here, the state which I'm storing all the messages in, this stays intact. So right now you can see that these messages are also displayed along with, it is waiting on the answer to my question. Once that is done, it will basically append those into the state, and this code will basically do the display part, right? So yeah, should be another couple of seconds and then we should see the answer, I'm hoping. Okay, so it did provide us with the answer. According to United States, there are currently 193 recognized countries in the world, right? Yeah, so this is just a demo and a small experiment, and you can do a lot with Hugging Face models. There are like if I see the block 70 billion, or maybe llama, yeah, you can see there is Meta's 70 billion chatbot. If we use this is pretty powerful, and you can see the downloads last month is a huge amount. So you can do use this code, and I will be pushing this to the GitHub, and I'll be linking this GitHub repository link in the description. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. It does help me a lot, and I'll keep making more videos like this. Thanks everyone.